Okay, perfect. Can you start for me by saying your name, spelling your name, and giving me your title?
Britt Dye, BRITTDYE, CEO, General Manager, Fayetteville Public Utilities.
So today I figured I'd reach out because we've had a lot of weather issues in the last couple of weeks, 2 weekends in a row where we had a massive weather event and then had to have people all over the place. So could you kind of just, recap some of the work that you guys have been out there doing in the last couple of weeks?
Well, for the last 2 Saturdays, we had one that was an EF2 that hit about the east part of the city and the south part of the city on one street in that direction, and we ended up changing about 7 to 8 poles. And then this past Saturday, we had an EF3 they classified that hit Borderline Road down around the state line down toward Hazel Green, Alabama.
And obviously, when things like that happen, it goes from first assessing, making sure everybody's okay, to then addressing a larger concern for the public. So when massive weather events happen, what are some of the things that y'all have to do out there to make sure everybody has their power back?
Well, the first thing we did is we did go out and check to see what we had, and then I got in touch with the command center down in Alabama, right there at the Ace Hardware store, because we had Huntsville Utilities on one side of the road where we worked, and we was on the other side of the road. So we had to be sure everything was grounded, no backfeeds were coming through the power lines, and everybody was safe. So after we got all that cleared up and made sure everybody was safe, we went to work immediately, and within about 3.5 hours, we had 7 poles set and wire replaced, and everybody back up and going.
So it really only took just a portion of one day to be able to put it all together, is what you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay, that is definitely good to hear compared to some of the places we've had over the last week. I know in Florence, it took all basically a whole week for them to get their power back. When that does happen, though, when there's a mass power outage, you probably have a lot of people, giving everything they can at one time. Do you feel like linemen typically run into, I guess, some sort of fatigue over time having to put that back together at one time?
Well, that's very true. You can't say enough thank yous to the county deputy department here in Lincoln County, and along with the city police, because they're the ones that kept everything under control with traffic and those kinds of things so we could do our work. But the line workers, they're used to this work. They're dedicated. It's a different lifestyle, and you have to be that special person if you're going to do line work. And they really don't get fatigued, because when they cut lights on, it's a big blessing, and they know that it is, and they just get a smile from side to side.
That is an interesting point. I guess, at the end of the day, it is your job to do it regardless, but it is interesting to hear that you do get some sort of satisfaction out of it, not just that it is your job. What are some other issues that linemen will run into when there's a lot of weather damage together at one time, besides just putting the power lines back?
Well, we go through this monthly of trying to be prepared for a storm. And like they got another storm coming up this week, and they're talking about now it's done moved up to 3 out of 5 on the tornado risk. But we prepare, we talk about it, we plan it. You try to have every contingency in place. If the what if this happens, what we're going to do. If we got a backfeed, what we're going to do. We got to be sure that we're safe as far as putting our grounds on, and everybody goes back home the same way they showed up for work that day. But the longer they work, the better they get.
Yeah, I guess it's a big experience job right there. Then
right.
Just kind of. I guess any other questions I had for you. You mentioned preparation there. Is it kind of hard to prepare for weather events like that, because you may not know exactly where you're going to get hit, what's going to get hit?
It is, and sometimes you just have to wait till it's over before you could actually respond, because like if it's countywide, you got to go to your priority areas first, and we know what those areas are, so that's the ones we hit first, like your hospitals, your nursing homes, those kind of places, lift stations, water pump stations, those kinds of things. And so we try to be sure that we got our priorities straight. A lot of your nursing home hospitals now has got backup generators, just like our wastewater plants and water plants has got backup generators, but we try to get all the main essentials back on first that can bring life if you got people hurt and those kinds of things. And we try to make sure we got all that covered the best that we can. But it's just dedicated line workers, but it takes all of our employees to get the job done. And even though we have all departments here, we all chip in together as a team to make it happen.
What's your message to people who, may not understand how long it could take to get power back up? during weather events like that?
Well, we always appreciate our customers and the patience. They got to have patience, and they know that we have to get the main lines back on before we can ever get single phase lines back on. With one customer. Until we get the main lines restored, we can't do anything with any customer until we get the majority of the main lines restored back first. And we put that on radio. We do a lot of news media to let all the customers know, and we also put it on Twitter and Facebook and try to communicate that way as well.
Are there any questions I didn't ask you today that you wanted to plug in here?
No, not really. I don't think so. What's that?
Lineman Appreciation.
You want to talk about Lineman Appreciation Day?
Why not?
Okay, well, we got a House bill coming up next week, April the 10th, which is Lineman's Appreciation Day, but they're going to declare in the state of Tennessee that it's going to become every second Monday in April is Lineman's Appreciation Day. So that's a big thing. We'll go up and we meet with the governor. They announce it, it goes to the floor. So we're proud to be part of that.
And is that gonna, that's gonna be like live streamed or something? I don't know. I always think.
I'm gonna say that it could be, but I'm not sure. I know that we're gonna go up there and video it and everything. So
absolutely. Well, we'll probably, if we need some extra things, we'll make sure to reach out to y'all.
Sure, that'd be great.
Any other questions I didn't ask?
I think we're good.
I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.